Welcome back, everybody, to For Goodness Take. Today, we have Colorado wide receiver Michael Byrd Jr. Michael, how are you today?
What's up? I'm good. Good to be with you, Evan.
Thank you. So today we're going to talk some football, banter back and forth, and all that good stuff. To kick it off, what is your earliest memory of football?
My earliest memory of football is probably kindergarten on the playground. We had like a little dirt field, not really a field, but like a dirt little area. And that's where my love of the game started. Just playing on the playground, recess, and kind of just backyard football, kind of. So that was always fun, and that's where my love of the game kind of grew. Because I was like, hey, I like this. Like, when I was young, I would watch NFL games, and then you try to mimic that at recess or in your backyard at home. So for me, definitely the playground was my earliest memories of the game, just in its purest form. So
I think I'm on the same boat with you as well. My earliest memories, probably elementary school, playing some football during recess. What were those
yeah.
games like for you? Those games were super hectic and heated for me.
Yeah, we had uh we had bets going. You remember like trading cards and stuff.
Of
So like
course.
if whoever lost the game, like they had to give up a trading card, and so when it was betting on the line and it was stuff at risk. People started playing hard. We actually played tackle football with no protection at recess, and the teachers had to cancel that because a lot of kids got hurt, so they forced us to go to two-hand touch. So yeah, my memories of football are very interesting. It was fun for me when I was young, so that's why I'm still playing now, I guess.
I think in high school, people start to fall in love with the game even more. So what was the
Yeah.
recruiting process for you in high school?
Um, recruit was hectic. It was hard because I'm an undersized guy. Being only 5'7", it's not a lot of schools that's um, running to come and get you, especially Division I programs. So I had to go to camps. I had to do my best to kind of uh, connect with coaches, and that was hard sometimes. Just getting coaches' phone numbers and getting connected with them was a rough deal. But things worked out, and I was able to go to the University of Arkansas my first year of school. I was able to get in contact with them. wasn't able to play there because I had health issues going on. But I was able to get in contact with them. But yeah, recruiting was a rough deal. And for all the kids out there that they're in high school and they're fighting to get offers and they don't have a lot of attention, I was that guy. I definitely feel for them. You got to go to different camps and you got to send out your film, and sometimes coaches are not interested. So that's the hard part of recruiting that a lot of people don't like talking about. But that was kind of my story.
How'd you end up at TCU?
So after I went to Arkansas, like I said, I had health issues. I wasn't cleared to play there. So they told me they weren't gonna wait on me to get cleared, so I had to find another place to play. I always liked TCU, just watching them from afar, because I was familiar with Gary Patterson and what he had accomplished as a coach. So I was like, you know what, I might as well, send my film to them, see if they like it, see if they want to give me an opportunity, and they wanted to give me a chance. So I headed over there, and that TCU is a good school, was good academics, tremendous teammates that I played with over there. So I had a fun time being at TCU. It was a good deal.
You said you liked TCU earlier. So did you grow up a Horned Frogs fan, or was there another college that you were a huge fan of?
Yeah, like I said, I grew up kind of just watching them from afar. Definitely after they won the Rose Bowl against Wisconsin. I think I was in like 7th grade. So I definitely kind of grew up a distant fan, not really a diehard, but I was a distant fan. I admired them. Growing up, my team was I definitely liked Percy Harvin and the Gators. That was my childhood team. But as I got older, I knew I wasn't going to be able to play at Florida. just because my recruiting, they never recruited me. So I kind of let them go and on to the next school. But yeah, TCU, I've always admired them from afar just for what they was able to accomplish, with Andy Dalton and some of those guys. So
You have a favorite NFL team?
the Panthers.
Okay, why the Panthers?
For me, I just feel like, they were here in Charlotte. They're a hometown team for me. But I feel like this may just be because I'm from Charlotte, but I feel like it was just a different connection with them than any other team I watched. It was kind of like my favorite player was Steve Smith. So just anytime I watched their games, it was like when they were losing, it felt like I was losing. Like it was just a deep connection. It was like I was hurting when they weren't performing well. When they performed well and they won games, I felt like I won something. So it was just a deep connection, and it's probably because I'm from Charlotte and they were here in Charlotte, where they are here in Charlotte. But yeah, for me, I always connected with the Panthers for whatever reason.
I saw the Panthers play last November at Lambeau Field, and that was a really exciting game.
Yeah, listen, I thought we were gonna beat the Packers. We had practice that day, and so before practice, I was kind of watching it on my phone in the locker room. And then, we had to go to practice. We were up before practice. I come back, man, the Packers have found a way to come back. I was like, man, sheesh. And it was kind of snowing that game too. So I knew it was going to be rough for us just because we don't get that kind of weather in Charlotte. So to play in that kind of weather, I knew it was going to be a challenge for us. But, yeah, they got beat. So
That game was great for me for a couple reasons. One, because I'm a Packers fan and the Packers won. Two, Aaron Jones went off that game and I had Aaron Jones on my fantasy team. And three, DJ Moore went off and I had DJ Moore on my fantasy team.
You were in a PPR league?
I wasn't a PPR league. That's what made DJ Moore so good.
Yeah, I know. You going DJ is going. He's always going to get you a good amount of catches because they target him. They target him a good bit, so that's always going to help you out in a PPR league for sure.
Are you excited for the Teddy Bridgewater DJ Moore connection?
I am not. To be honest with you, I am sad that they got rid of Cam Newton. I felt that they should have kept Cam around a little bit. But the ownership, they decided to do to go a different route and get Teddy Bridgewater. But I think Cam is better than Teddy Bridgewater in my opinion when he's healthy. But yeah, Teddy Bridgewater is not a bad quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see what he does, but who knows?
What do you think the Panthers' record is going to be this year?
I think they win 6 games.
6-10.
Yeah, I think they go 6-10. Just because Teddy hasn't started in a while, really since the Minnesota days. Yeah, he started one game with New Orleans at the end of the year last year, but he hasn't been a starter in a while, and that being a backup and being a starter is just it's a different responsibility you have. So he hasn't had that pressure on him in a while, and I think him being a new guy and then combine that with a new coach, I can't see them going to the playoffs. Not this year. That's just my opinion.
A huge thing with the Panthers is that the Buccaneers got Tom Brady and Gronkowski, and you guys are in the same division. Personally, I'm not on that huge bandwagon that the Buccaneers are going to be all that good. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
I think the thing about football is a lot of people, there can be a lot of talented guys on the team, but if you haven't played with guys before, it's just a certain level of chemistry that's not there. So, yeah, the Bucs, they got Brady. They got a lot of talent already on that roster with Mike Evans and some guys, but those guys haven't really played together yet. So it's going to be interesting to see, like if you look at Edelman and Brady, they played so long together that, Edelman was just the timing that they had. Brady was throwing the ball, before Edelman even broke out of his route. So, just the timing that they had. He didn't have to wait on Edelman to get open. He threw him open. And if you look at Brady, he hasn't really played with those receivers in Tampa, so you don't know how that timing is going to look. You don't know if they're going to be able to get on the same page and connect. But, they're professionals. You expect them to be able to, once the ball is snapped, you expect them to be able to play at a high level. But it's just a lot that goes into it, But I think they get to the playoffs for sure. For sure, I think they do.
I'm not sure because that division's pretty loaded. I think you're kind
Yeah,
of sleeping on the Panthers a bit.
yeah. I For me, the reason why I think they get to the playoffs is just because of Bruce Arians and the he's had plenty of playoff experience, and then you bring in a veteran like Tom Brady and along with that along with Mike Evans and that offense. I think that offense is going to put up a lot of points. Defensively, I don't know how they're going to look. I think they're going to be all right, but you never know. Year to year is so different.
The Bucks also brought in Gronkowski, who is a Pac-12 player, and similar to Gronkowski, you're now a Pac-12 player. So what made you land at Colorado?
I like Colorado just because they have a very multicultural university as far as the university's like mission to be inclusive. And you want to be in an environment where you get to experience a lot of different cultures. For me, that's big for me because I've learned that when I'm around different groups of people, whether it be Asians, whether it be whites, whether it be Hispanics, whatever, like I learned something. And so it's always my biggest goal to go to like multicultural, environments. And so they had that. And then to their program, I feel like, they got a new coach with Carl Durrell. And so he's got a fresh mindset. And I feel like that program is really about to change. You know what I mean? And so it's definitely I want to be a part of it. And the bottom line is they were willing to give me an opportunity when a lot of other schools weren't willing to give me a chance. So definitely excited to be there. Definitely excited to be a part of that program. Right now, I'm not out there yet. I get out there. Was supposed to get out there early August, but right now the season's being pushed back. And so the guys that are out there right now, they're on lockdown right now, so they can't even practice or anything because of the virus. So we're at a weird point right now with the season. But whenever I get out there, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to get going for sure.
I'm a pretty big Buffs guy because two of my brothers went to Colorado, so I'm pretty
Yeah.
excited to have you as an addition to the roster.
Oh yeah.
So who in the Pac-12 are you most excited to play?
Either USC or Oregon. One, because USC is always one of those schools that I looked at as like when you're a little kid and USC comes on TV, like, oh yeah, like this is gonna be fun. So USC has always been a school that's always been like when they come on TV, like I have to watch them. And so that's gonna be very cool to play them just because I've watched them throughout my whole childhood. And then Oregon is just they're always a school that's just loaded with talent. You go back all the way to when they had LaMichael James and DeAnthony Thomas and a lot of those guys. They've just always been loaded. So it's gonna be fun getting to play them because you know that they're gonna have a lot of guys that can play, and so that's a challenge for me. I like challenges. So those two schools definitely are going to be exciting. Stanford too, just because I've had a couple buddies that play at Stanford. They don't play there anymore, but I've known some guys that have played there before, and so it's going to be interesting to get to play. Definitely those three schools.
I go to a couple SC games every year because my friend has season tickets, and
Yeah.
hopefully fans are allowed in attendance because I'm pretty sure the Buffs are coming to SC this year, aren't they?
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna tell you about the attendance thing. It's gonna be interesting. I feel like if we do have a season, they'll let fans. But that's gonna be kind of tricky with what's going on. But yeah, definitely. I hope you are able to come and it'll be an interesting interesting game for sure, I think.
You guys better pull out the win though, because last year the Buffs kind of choked a bit during that SC game. They had a pretty decent lead, then it just slipped away.
Whole season last year for Colorado, when you look at it, was just kind of disappointing to say the least. But I think we do have the talent to kind of turn things around. I think that definitely with a new coach in place, things will start to turn around. Hopefully, but hopefully this season can look a whole lot different than last year.
It's interesting because Steve Montez is gone now, and I'm not too familiar with the new quarterback. So can you give me some details about the new quarterback?
For me, I haven't really, like I said, I haven't been down there. I haven't seen the new guy throw. I haven't seen any of their guys throw, yet. I know that we have good receivers, especially with KD Nixon and some of the guys that are already in there. I know Coach Shiverini, he's a tremendous offensive coordinator. And Coach Durrell, he has a background coaching receivers and working with the offense as well. So I know that from an offensive standpoint, I think we'll be all right just with what we have in place already. But yeah, I'm not too familiar with the guys they got at quarterback right now either. It's going to be interesting to go down there and meet some of those guys. But yeah, I'm just like you. I'm interested to see when I get to practice how those guys throw too. I haven't seen them work too much.
I think some of the biggest news, it came a while ago, but some of the biggest news with the NCAA is that NCAA Football 21 is a possibility this year. So are you going to rock it on Xbox or PS5?
I grew up PlayStation kid, and then as I got into middle school and high school, I kind of transitioned to Xbox. But I like PlayStation more, just because I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just PlayStation has a better feel for me. So definitely probably PS5.
Okay, I'm on board with you with that as well. What do you think your overall in the game is going to be?
Sheesh. I'm thinking probably like low 70s, just because I only played at one game at TCU. So yeah, definitely probably low 70s. Hopefully we can get that up. Hopefully.
At least you're honest. I remember the Madden rookie ratings. Clyde Edwards-Helaire gave himself a 101. And this fourth round pick on the Rams, I want to say, gave himself an 88. I'm like, come on, that Chase Young's
Yeah,
barely going to be an 82.
you know good and well that automatically, if you're a rookie, you're not getting any higher than an 80. That's just how it is. That's how they do. It's not happening.
Ross Blacklock gave himself a 99, and I think
Oh,
he's a TCU guy.
Ross, my guy. Yeah. Hey, but I would say this though, Ross probably, if there's a very good chance Ross could win defensive rookie of the year. With him being on the same defensive line as J.J. Watt, and both of those guys, they get off the ball well and they have good speed as well as good size. That he could definitely win defensive rookie of the year. He don't sleep on him. He's legit.
I mean, I'm not sleeping on him. I'm just sleeping on the fact that he thinks he's a 99. I don't think anywhere close to that.
Yeah, that is definitely a little high, but hey, you can't hate his confidence. His confidence is really high.
I can tell. I can really tell from that. So I'm going to switch gears on you. This is called the speed round. I'm going to say a word, and you're going to say a memory, phrase, idea, whatever comes to your mind first. You can say it, you can speak it, you can do it. Just whatever floats your boat the best.
Okay.
Kickoff.
High school senior night, I had a kick return.
Ooh.
It was almost 100 yards.
I should have started on my fantasy team then that night. Truck.
Fire trucks, because I always fire, like firemen and anything to do with like firefighters when I was a kid. So
Juke.
Devin Hester.
When I'm saying these words, I can feel my thumb on the analog stick just doing the motions.
Yeah, for sure.
Moss.
Oh, Randy Moss.
Of course.
I went to school with his kid all the way up until like second grade. And I was definitely I watched all his games as a kid when I could. So yeah, that. Whenever you say Moss, everybody in the football world knows.
Everybody knows what's about to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, for sure.
Would you rather juke a guy out of his shoes or moss someone?
I'd rather juke a guy. Uh,
Okay.
just because for me, for me, I know if I juke a guy, I got enough speed to get to the end zone. But if I moss somebody and let's say I'm at the 50-yard line when I do it, I don't know if I come down if I'm gonna be able to get in the end zone. So I'm always gonna take the points.
Okay. How about Michael Byrd Jr.?
Um, a very interesting person. Uh, I would say somebody that works hard, underrated. Um, I got a lot of growing to do too as an athlete. So how just interesting is the word I would just use to describe myself.
I like to hear that. So I'm going to switch gears on you one more time. This is called Recruit Me. I'm a five-star quarterback from Los Angeles who's narrowed my list down to four schools actually. USC, Oregon, TCU, and can you guess the fourth one?
UCLA.
Colorado.
Ah,
So how are you going to convince me to commit to Colorado?
I think it's simple. I think that, like you said, earlier, Steve Montez has left. So I think coming into Colorado definitely have an opportunity to play early. Just with the former starter leaving, and then on top of that, you have weapons around you. Like myself, I'm coming in there. I'm a playmaker. KD Nixon is a playmaker. You can get the ball in his hands. You have tremendous offensive coordinator already. The head coach has an offensive-minded background. He's got plenty of players that he's coached in the NFL so far. So you have a tremendous coaching staff. You have tremendous teammates around you who are playmakers. And then it's just, from what I hear, I haven't been out there yet, but, the environment, the culture of Boulder is just amazing. And, we're only like 30-something minutes away from Denver. So just the atmosphere in the Boulder, Denver area and the beautiful scenery that you have with the mountains and, you can't beat that, So, I mean, what more could you ask for? Opportunity to play in a beautiful part of the country with good coaches. I mean, that's why I went to Colorado. That's why I'm
Okay.
going there.
How are you as a teammate?
For me, I'm a funny guy. A lot of my teammates they think I'm funny. They always laugh at me. I'm always kind of saying funny things and doing funny things. So I'm a laid back guy. I try to connect with my teammates in different ways. Uh, so I think it's fun kind of creating bonds with people that are different and unique to them. I kind of take pride in doing that because I always want to be a teammate that everybody can relate with, whether you are a country boy that likes fishing or whether you're a city boy that likes listening to rap music in your backyard or whether you like going to nightclubs or whether you like just staying in your dorm and just chilling. Like I like to relate to every type of person, every type of teammate that I have. So I think I'm a fun teammate to be around.
Okay. I think I've heard enough. With everything you've been saying, I'm going to commit to the Colorado University.
There you
Let's go
go.
Buffs.
There you go. Hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, for everybody that maybe a CU recruit, and you're balancing between where you want to go. I'm telling you, Colorado is the place. I think we're definitely going to change some things around if we're able to play this year. Hopefully, we are. Um, I think that it's going to be a very, very, very different type of Colorado team. Hopefully, we can get back to where we were in 2016 when we went to the conference championship. Uh, so yeah, hopefully, I think we'll start playing a lot better this year and in the years to come.
I'm very excited to see it. I am very, very excited to see it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, this concludes this episode of For Goodness Take. Michael, thank you so much for being on the show. Any final questions or comments?
No, it was nice to meet you, Evan. It was fun to come on and chat a little bit about ball and hopefully I'm gonna be watching the rest of your stuff, staying connected.
Thank you. Best of luck to you and nice meeting you too.
Absolutely.